Hello and Happy New Year 2026. Woohoo! Welcome back to Paranormal NL Podcast, located in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. That's PNL Podcast for short. I'm your host and founder, Jen Nosworthy. Thank you for tuning in to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 FM on that Gulf. For tonight's Happy New Year special, hello 2026 and goodbye 2025 on UPRN segment number 61. I've got a special guest waiting backstage from Tennessee, USA, who I'll bring on shortly. Now it's time to grab your favorite 2026 New Year's resolution beverage, a healthy New Year's resolution munchie. Get cozy in your yoga pants and get ready for that show tonight. Paranormal NL Podcast is sponsored by the Bog Team. It's a boots on the ground Bob team doing historical paranormal investigations in Newfoundland, Canada. Follow PNL Podcast and the Bog Team on their link tree at Paranormal NL Podcast and smash those subscribe buttons. Now, all Bog Team music heard in the intro and the exit is available for download on all social media and streaming platforms. And if you're looking for any Bog or PNL merch, head on over to the T Public and you can find all your stuff there. Now, tune in every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on UPRN for a PNL Podcast with a YouTube and a Facebook live chat watch party. PNL Podcast believes in supporting international paranormal networking and highlighting global paranormal people, places, and things. Let's get on with the show. Tonight, I have on with me, all the way from Tennessee. Let's bring her on stage. We got Cyn Shrader Hill. Welcome, Cyn.
Hey, how are you, Jen?
Good. Should I say to you, welcome back? Now, you were previously on PNL Podcast Season 2, Episode 61, Season 2, Episode 102, Season 3, Episode 19. And that was UPRN segment 26. So you've been with me on radio and now on video. So welcome back. It's great to have you and Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you as well.
Woohoo. So tell me, what's new with your books?
There's been a lot going on. So It's Not Goodbye 2 just came out. And I'm excited about that. And it was right on the heels of Death's Doorstep.
Well, congratulations on your new book. Yeah. And I'm sure this is pre-recorded, so you may even have a new book out by January. You never know. And that's why I kind of named this show Hello 26, Goodbye 25, because on your book, it says It's Not Goodbye, Part 2. So let me just take this one off the screen so everybody can see the book. So I've got it here in my hands. I've already purchased some, and I know this is the new year, but I did send some to some family members for Christmas, because in the book, there's actually a part about my poor little kitty cat who recently passed away. So a lot of people in the family knew him, Tigger. I got his actual name in there. So yeah, everybody's missing poor little Tiggy. But tell me more about what's going on with you. I see your shirt, The Night House.
Yes.
Can we give a shout out to Eric Freeman Sins, his Goblin Con and his Night House?
Yeah. And this is his new merch. So nice. I'm excited to have my husband and I have new t-shirts from there. So check him out.
You're rocking it, girl.
I'm trying.
So tell me about, in your new book, It's Not Goodbye, I mean, how did you compile it? There's so many different stories. How did you go about getting them all together?
When the first one came out, I had people coming up to me saying, I have a story for you. I've got a sign that happened to me. I'd like to tell it to you.
Okay.
Or, this experience happened to me. Would you be interested in it? And it just, they came out of nowhere and from all over. And I would run into people at different places and they would say, oh, you're the one with the signs. I've got a sign for you. And they would just tell me. And so I knew a sequel had to happen. And I started compiling it. And over a course of just a little while, I noticed there were a lot of near death experiences, a lot more than the first one, and a lot of near misses, a lot more than the first one. So I decided to pull that out for its own book, Death's Doorstep, and near death experience, angel rescues, and spirit warnings. And then the signs book has all the classical signs. You can smell someone's perfume or cologne, cigarette smoke, cigar smoke, cardinals, pennies or dimes, quarters, feathers, and all of that stuff. And as far as dreams, visions, apparitions, even pets coming back. So that went into the Signs 2 book.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different stories. I love them all. And I guess when you were over at GoblinCon, did you have a lot of people telling you different stories when you were there?
I did because I actually spoke. Eric had me as a speaker there for Signs from the Afterlife. And I had several people there. There's Eric and his husband. And we're all sporting Night House
All
wear.
the merch?
Yeah, that was right before my husband and I left Hopkinsville. We were going to have breakfast together, and we came back after that. So that was our last little hurrah in Hopkinsville this last time.
Nice, fun
Actually,
stuff.
yeah, I'm actually going to be back before this airs for his. I think he's having a Christmas, well, December-ish public ghost hunt. So
Oh, fun. I love those. They're always fun. Now, I guess I got to give a shout out to your Elk Valley paranormal. Did you want to talk a little bit about that for the folks who are listening and who are not, familiar with your work?
that's okay. Elk Valley Paranormal is my baby. I brought it out in 2014 after I was trained by another group. So I didn't know anything about ghost hunting until I was trained. Just what was on TV, and we all know how TV is. So,
Right.
yeah, definitely not reality.
All the
Even
jump scares
reality
and stuff like
TV.
that.
Yeah, even reality TV is not reality. When you
Right. Yeah, unless you experience it yourself. I mean, there's so many naysayers out there, but then when you bring somebody with you, or even if you're just in a place and it happens to them and they get their first experience, then they become believers. Have you
yeah,
had a lot of that with Elk Valley Paranormal? And I
yeah,
love that you called it Elk Valley Paranormal because it's EVP is your,
that's
is your initials. I love
it was
that.
perfect. It was perfect because I did the audio. And so EVPs were my passion, and Elk Valley Paranormal just fit right in. Around here in Lincoln County, Tennessee, we used to be known as the Elk Valley area. So there's Elk Valley Times, that's still the newspaper here. Elk Valley, different businesses have Elk Valley this, Elk Valley that. And so EVP just kind of came about.
Nice. And you go over to the hospital there in Tennessee a lot, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, right now the owner has it kind of, locked up for tours and everything. So no public tours going on, no team investigations going on right now. But who knows? It
You
might
never
open up
know.
because next year, 2026, is the 25th anniversary of its closing. So I'm going to
Oh.
bring a book out about the old hospital, and you're the first one that knows that.
Oh, wow, that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah,
So you're gonna talk a little bit about, like, the history of it or some of the haunts?
both. It,
Both.
all of that. Yeah, because it wasn't just a hospital when it started. It was a school before that, a teaching school, and before that, it was a boys' school. So
Okay. What's some of
it's
the stuff that happened there that sticks out in your mind?
I actually, when it was a teaching college, I had relatives, past relatives like great aunts and uncles and cousins, way back in the 20s that went to school there and
Oh,
became teachers. So they were in different clubs that they had, and one of the clubs there was called the Unlucky 333 Club, which
but
was
that's strange because I thought 333 was supposed to be a lucky number.
right. But I think these three gentlemen that had this club, and it was only three of them. Uh,
Right?
I think they were just trying to be very ominous and, just, I don't know if they were into bad things or not, but we think that one of
Oh,
them is still there. Um, and he's not a great person. He's kind of mean. He can be kind of,
uh-oh. Yeah,
um,
you gotta watch out for that kind of stuff. I try to stick into the light more so than the dark, right?
yeah, yeah. But over the years, there were several additions onto that hospital, and there's five basements in it, and they do not connect.
Oh, they
Five
do.
different
Wow.
basements. Mm-mm.
Okay.
And they're all on that same level, but they
Oh.
don't connect to each other.
Hmm.
So that kind of tells you about the different additions that were put on there. Um, I think Jamie the owner, has an idea about tearing down all but the middle section, which is the oldest section.
Oh,
And
no, the big R renovations, whenever
right,
anybody does that, the ghosts get very upset, the
I
spirits.
know,
They
I
don't
know,
like renovations.
I know. And there's going to be a ton because we've had, dare I say, the word Zach was there. And I mean,
Okay.
things changed after he was there.
And how so?
Not in a good way. Something
Okay.
dropped off of him,
Oh.
um, that was left
Well,
behind.
there's such a thing as hitchhikers. I'm sure in one of your books you've talked about that kind of stuff, attachments and
Yeah,
how they can hitchhike on you. And then if you're going somewhere, they'll just stop and hang out there for a while. This
right.
is a nice place. I'll
Yeah,
stay here for a while, or let me go jump into this person and see what's going on with their life?
yeah.
Have you
And
had any attachments before or had
um,
anything like stuck to an object or your house or somebody you know?
I brought a hitchhiker back from Valley Forge, but
Oh,
it was a good one. So I was
okay.
actually very, very lucky.
Yeah.
I was sick up there. I had gotten food poisoning, and she latched onto me. I didn't know it. She latched onto me, and she evidently was a nurse around the area and
Oh,
the era of Valley Forge.
well, that's interesting. So she was probably trying to help you out?
She came all the way back to Tennessee with us.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, and I thought I told you this, maybe I haven't. This was actually in my first book, Attachments. Um,
Attachments.
yeah,
Okay.
and Whispers in the Dark. Um, uh, she was a nurse from the Valley Forge era, and she knew I wasn't well, and she latched on and came all the way back to Tennessee with us. We had a ghost cat at the time, and my husband and I had only been married a very short while. So I remember going to sleep, trying to go to sleep one night. He was already asleep. He's a early bird. I'm a night owl. And something jumped up on the bed, and I was like, "Oh, Bella, this my cat," who I had not moved there yet because I was still moving boxes over. She was going to be the last thing because cats are kind of finicky when there's moving going on.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
yeah, and I didn't want to scare her, so
Right.
I
Yeah.
wanted to have her the least stress I could have her. So she was the last thing I brought over. And but as I was going to sleep that night, I felt her jump up on the bed and turn around and then nestle down by my feet. I was like, "Oh, Bella's going to sleep with us. Oh, wait, Bella's not here yet." And I was like, "There's a ghost cat. We've got a ghost cat." So I didn't say anything to Greg, and it happened again just a few days later. And he was not asleep, and I said, "Did you feel that?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "What was it?" And, "I don't know." And I
So he
said,
felt it.
"Yes." And I said, "Has it happened before?" And he said, "Yes." And I
Oh
said,
my
"Are
gosh.
you going to tell me?" And he said, "No."
Do
And
you
I
know
said,
that's so weird? Seeing
"My
last
God."
night, I couldn't sleep last night all night, and I kept feeling like something. My Tigger would cuddle up next to my legs, right? So I kind of felt that. I thought it was the other cat, but he never gets up on the bed. So I was like, I looked and I asked my husband, I said, is Tigger, is Winnie, the other cat, Winston, is he there? He said, no. I said, okay. So he went back to sleep and I felt like cold, like it was a cold spot there. But
"Aw."
every night, Winston still cries. In fact, last night, right on the dot, 3 a.m., he was crying again and brought, I call him his babies. He brings two mice, fake mice, he carries around in his mouth, and put them down in the hallway uh, over under this picture that's got a picture of him and Tigger together.
It's they miss each other.
Hmm.
You know, if I it always astounds me that people don't believe animals have souls.
I've asked a medium, a very strong, powerful one, should I, because I do have Tigger's ashes in the house, and I usually don't do that. But for this time, I felt comfortable enough to do so. Because some people think, oh, if you leave ashes in the house, you're going to disturb the other spirits and upset them. But the medium said, no, no, you don't have to do that. It's okay.
Right,
But,
right.
like, because I was thinking, by having his ashes in the house, am I upsetting Winston? Does he, like, he obviously knows because he keeps bringing toys right to his ashes.
No, he just misses his brother. He just
Yeah.
misses him. And they were close for so long. No, he just bless him. He just misses him.
And you know the story Cat at the Door that you wrote,
Yeah.
and it's about, Tigger being at the door, and
Mhm.
then I had somebody come over to the house and they said, "Oh, look, there's a cat downstairs. I should let them up." And I said, she said it was a black and white cat. I said, "No, we don't have a black and white cat. No cats are allowed downstairs." And all the cats were in another room asleep, but she saw the orange cat actually, sorry, he was at the door and he was pawing, and she thought the other cat needed to come up, but the other cat was actually in the other room asleep. So she opened the door and Tigger ran downstairs, and my husband Jonathan had to go get him because he ran right into the laundry room, and that's where he was in the back of the laundry room. He would have come out. So I brought him upstairs and closed the door. And then the lady was like, "Where's about the other cat?" And I was like, "No, he's in the other bedroom asleep," which he was. So the next day, well, my husband told me about a cat that I didn't even know about. This cat was called Jenny, and he had this cat when he was with another person, and that cat actually passed away downstairs in the laundry room and was black and white. And I'd never seen a picture of it before. He showed me, I was like, "Oh my god." So the next day I showed the lady and she was like, "That's the cat. That's the one I seen in the door wanting to come upstairs."
I love that story. But your story just keeps continuing.
No, it does, because you know what Winston is doing now? Winston never, ever used to go over by that door. Now he goes over there crying.
Mhm.
So,
Almost
in your book, you said at the very end of it, I wonder, you said, did Tigger, is he downstairs playing with Jenny? Which
mhm.
could be because we wouldn't let him down there because we have all these wires and stuff like computers and a big screen TV. He actually bit the wires in half on our surround sound, so that's why he wasn't allowed down there no more.
Right?
But I'm sure he's down there now playing around with the
Yeah.
other cat for sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and Winston, you know, animals can see a lot more than we can and perceive a lot more than we can. So Winston's probably seen both of them now.
I think so because you know what, Sin, it never fails. Every night at 3 o'clock, he's crying really loud, loud enough to wake us both up.
Mhm.
Which is, yeah, but it's comforting stories though. That's why it's not on your cover. It's not goodbye. And in your book, there's so many other stories. Do you want to tell me one about it's not goodbye for some other people?
One that actually happened to me was very odd. Um, I had just gone with my nephew Wyatt to a murder mystery, and a friend of mine was there. Um, and of course, we talked and laughed, and afterwards went home. And it wasn't just a little while that she reached out to me. And this is a strange turn of events. So that's, and it was a strange turn of events out of that book. But she said that she had a man with her named James. Did I know anybody? And first off, when anybody other than Mark Elliott Foltz reaches out to me and says, I have a spirit talking to me that wants me to relay a message to you, I completely go on guard unless it's him. Right?
Right, right.
So I'm on guard thinking, okay, here we go. Here we go. And I said, all right, so what is it? And she said, do you know him? And I said, maybe. And she said, then she made another comment and then said, it's your father. And I said, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then she, fast forward a little bit in that story, and she mentions my ex mother in law, but she didn't say ex. She said, do you know an Ann? And I said, depends. And I'm not going to give anybody anything, you know, I'm not. So you got to work for what you're going to try to get out of me. So I said, depends. And she said, do you know anybody in a Carol? And I said, I only know one, and that's from a while back. And she said, well, she's here to tell you she's sorry. What are you talking about? She said she died in 2017. Do you know who this is? And I said, no. Because at that point, I really wasn't sure where she was going with this. And she said, well, she knows you. And I immediately, while she is messaging me, I get on the computer and start looking up my ex mother-in-law, and died in 2017.
Oh.
And I had no idea because it was a bad marriage, a bad divorce. And I was like, good riddance. I never wanted to deal with them again. I don't even know where my ex is. But his mother was terrible, very domineering, and had to have her way no matter what the situation was. And at that time, I was very young. I was only 25 and couldn't stand up for myself still. And it wasn't until in my 30s that I could actually stand up for myself. And
Yeah, you don't really grow your brains until you're in your 30s, I say.
yeah, I
Right,
think
yeah.
so. But
I was married and divorced in my 20s too, so
yeah, I was a
Yeah.
pushover, and I just kept my feelings to myself, which, that causes all kinds of panic and anxiety and everything. But yeah, she did die in 2017. And the thing is, I never ever mention this last name, never mention my ex's name, never mention what he went by, never mentioned, his family, anything like that. It's just a bad chapter in my life that was best left in the
Right.
past.
Yeah,
And the
lock the
fact,
key, throw away the box kind of thing.
yeah, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fact that she had that information, I was like,
So what
wait,
did the spirit want? Like, why was she coming back? What did she have to
she
say?
yeah, she couldn't cross over until she got my forgiveness. And I was
Oh,
like, "What?" And
really?
she said she was really bad to you. And I said, "Yes, she was." And she
Wow.
said she is very apologetic for that now. Um,
Okay.
she can't go on, she can't cross over until she gets your acceptance. And I
Okay.
was like, that is so weird. That is so not like her. And she said, she can't cross over. Do you accept her apology? And I said,
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
sure. And she said, what about your husband? Does he? And I said, well, he never knew her. And she said, well, this is his mother, right? And I said, no, that was my first husband's mother way back. Way Greg has nothing to do with this. And she said, oh, okay. She said, I was confused myself. So it was just an odd conversation. But the fact that she pulled that up and that last name is just not linked to anything if I can help it. And how she
Some mediums are very powerful, you know?
that particular instance was just like a wow, she got that right.
Yeah, some people don't believe, but it's almost like the paranormal. Unless you have your own experience with something like that, with a medium, talking to you about something, and some people say, oh, they can dig through your social
Yeah,
and find stuff, but you know what? For stuff like that, that private, you wouldn't have that all over your.
no,
I don't have any of that on my Facebook, my
no,
ex or anything. Nothing.
no,
Like you
no.
said, lock the key, throw it away, and kick it under the door somewhere,
Yeah,
you know?
it's gone. It is so gone.
And
Yeah.
that's why, 2026 is something great. Like New
Mhm.
Year's are always great. You could shake off all the old dust and dirt and go on. And this year is 2026. It's the year of the fire horse.
Wow.
And I was thinking, like, what's a fire horse and why is it called a fire horse? So here it is. So for did I put here the actual explanation? I just put here what it means. So the horse Chinese horoscope 2026, it says this is your year. You may feel a strong desire to lead, create, or take bold steps. Career success is within reach, but keep an eye out for unexpected hurdles. Don't let stress affect your health or love life. And if you're in a relationship, show you care more openly and take time to rest, recharge, and reconnect with what inspires you. And I think that last thing is really important for everybody now because everybody's just so drained. There's so much weird stuff going in the world right now.
Mhm, mhm.
And I find that the years of the Chinese zodiac very interesting. I
I do
won't say
too.
which one I am, but I can say uh, that it's. Have you ever looked at yours and figured
I
out which one
mine
you are?
is mine is the rabbit.
You're a rabbit.
Yeah, and it's supposedly the one of the luckiest signs. And I have to say, I've been lucky in a lot of different areas of my life.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting how, sometimes people read it and say, "Oh, that's a bunch of crap or a bunch of malarkey," and I
Yeah,
don't believe in any like mediumship or stuff like that. But sometimes it does align and it does exactly meet and what it says, right?
right, right. And
Yeah,
it's okay if you don't believe, but there's others that do. So
yeah,
just like
100%.
just like in everything else.
True that. So what happened in your life now that you're gonna do any special resolutions you think maybe for 2026 besides kick off the dust and any new but besides the other book now that you're telling me about with
Yeah,
the teaser you said about the
that
hospital that's coming out.
that's the only resolution. I just want to get that book done because of the 25th anniversary. It closed the day before 9/11 in '01.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is kind of odd, but
Huh.
it was the day before 9/11 happened.
Okay. Where were you during that? What happened
I
with you?
was I was driving to work to teach a yoga class, and I remember getting into the parking lot. I'd been listening the whole time, and I got in the parking lot, was just listening, thinking, "Oh my god, this is this really happening? Or is this like, when War of the Worlds was
Yes.
broadcast and everybody freaked out. I'm like, is this another trick?
Do you know my brother, when we were growing up, we lived in this house and there was a river behind it, and we always used to play in the river. Well, he brought home this old fashioned record, and it was War of the Worlds. So we listened to it. That was the first time we ever heard it. And we all got scared.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my gosh. And then mom and dad explained, this is something fake and da 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 da. But it was so believable, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they broadcast that. So
Yeah.
so everybody was freaking out thinking, "Oh, well, we're dying today."
With all the aliens and everything. And we're pre-recording and Atlas is coming at us. What do you think about that? Do you know when we all could be dead by now and we're recording?
Right? Oh, well, 2025 sucked.
Goodbye, 2025. Kick that one out the door too. Shit.
And let me just say, 2025 did suck. Really.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
There were some high points, but there was a lot of low points.
Yeah, I have to say the lowest point for me in 2025 was losing my poor little guy, and I got to give a little shout out to him. And Paranormal Pets, which is coming out soon, but we should already have here with Rob Guttrow. And there's my little guy right there. There's Tigger, and I miss you so much, little guy. But hopefully 2026 will be much better.
I hope so. Goodness,
Yeah.
I hope so.
So what other stories did you want to talk about? I'm looking at some of the stuff in the background on your walls there. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
I always do that. When I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, what's that on your wall?
Just an eclectic collection that keeps growing.
Got anything fun, show and tell you want to show everybody?
Well, let's see. I've got things from Mark Elliott Volz. He did that. Can you see?
Is it a drawing?
Yeah, it's the Skeleton Man.
Oh.
That is around New Orleans, along with Marie Laveau. And he actually did a drawing of Marie Laveau as well.
Oh, wow.
The Voodoo Queen.
Mark,
so,
my gosh.
So I've got things from Mark and Austin. Sent me this
shout out to Austin. He's been on the show.
The Return of Vampire.
And for Austin, shouldn't we give him a shout out for he's got a new documentary coming out soon.
The Dead Chronicles that Mark and I got to be a part of.
Yes.
Yeah, but he sent me The Return of Vampire, that picture, and I love it. I love it so much that I actually have the t-shirt as well. So I had to order it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been you've been to his night house. Have you done an investigation there?
Yeah. Just about every time we go up, we have every time we go up is usually for a public hunt to stay overnight. We've been a couple of times just for family get-togethers with his family. But most times we're up there for a public hunt.
And have you gotten anything interesting there at the night house?
We've gotten several different things that were interesting. One thing I'll tell you is he actually started getting signs from beyond. At the first week, he and his husband were up there working on the place. And he had gone into the bathroom and he had a knock on the door. And he said, "I'll be out in a minute." He came out of the bathroom. Nobody's there. So he's like, well.
Oh, gosh.
And he looks outside. Everybody's out there. They're not inside. So he had somebody knock on the door. Just say, "Hey." No, you're here.
And then, hey, you're renovating.
Right? And then
that's the big R, right? I've had Eric on the show too. You got to go back and listen.
He's great. He's so great. But he also, this next time, the reason I'm bringing this up is because this happened to me too. So he went to the downstairs bathroom and did not close the door because it was just him and his husband there. and he's finished, and gets ready to walk out, and the door is closed. It's almost like, no, that's private. You need to keep that door closed. So when I go, and like a few months later, I there's you have to lock both doors. One is a latch that you just latch into the hook. So, and that's the main door. The other door goes into the master bedroom where my husband and I sleep when we stay. But it has a push lock that you turn. And that's the one that has the mirror on the back that has scared so many people coming into the bathroom, like, oh, you know, somebody's in the bathroom. No, that's just a picture of me. So anyway, but I pushed the door locked, and I was minding my own business, doing my business, and the door popped open.
Oh.
So I'm like, whoa, I'd like a little privacy too.
That happened to one of our mediums when we were at a museum. Um, it was funny. We were outside using spirit box and dowsing rods and stuff. And he went in just to go look around and use the bathroom. We were like, okay, spirits, everybody go in the museum and go talk to our medium. And then we started laughing because when he came out, he was like, oh my God. He said, I couldn't even pee. He said, there was a ghost there and wouldn't leave me alone. We're like, what? He said, yeah, because, and then he made a noise. And the person who was working there was like, did you hear that? He was like, yeah. And the person working there said, yeah, this is Mr. Candy. He's a spirit there, that one of the people here in Newfoundland and Labrador, a host on another podcast called Ode ODD, or Odd to Newfoundland. John was around there, but anyway, yeah, the spirit was in the bathroom and wouldn't let him pee.
Spirits really don't have boundaries sometimes.
No, they don't. So I know we were talking about the Night House a lot, but if you're looking to check it out, it's the Night House. ky.com. Shout out to Eric Freeman Sins. And I know we talked about Mark also. And Eric was on Penal Podcast Season 2, Episode 55. Check that out. And Mark Elliott Foltz, yeah, he's a trance artist, a witch, an author from Universal Truths from Florida. And he was on Penal Podcast Season 2, Episode 112, Season 3, Episode 119. So, yeah.
And amazing.
Yeah.
Is that me?
No, that was probably me.
Oh, okay.
I've always got, when I'm on, it never fails. Somebody is trying to get a hold of me or something. I was going to actually say something about the podcast, because we have certified a certain thing here. I was going to go down and read it out, but I was looking for it, but I can't find it. Oh, yeah, here it is. So Penal Podcast, we're on the Facebook group. We have a group on Facebook. And a lot of people get mixed up when they tag Paranormal NL Podcast, because I've got the page and I've got the group. So for the group is our official place, but that's a certified safe space alliance. So it's inclusive, fun, paranormal place where you can interact with global like-minded people. And I just wanted to throw that out there since we've been talking about a lot of different things. But let me take this off the screen. I just realized that is me. Sorry.
I was panicking, thinking it was me. I was trying to see, and I was like, oh, no.
That happened one time, before. Yeah. Gotta love it. So, Cyn, I know you've been feeling sick, and what do you think about all this stuff about vaccines and all that? People are saying, oh.
Yeah, I'm still not going to get it.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
They're really trying to push it here, but I guess I'm not going to use the V word much, because apparently on YouTube, if you mention that word, you can get kicked off.
Yeah,
which is really weird. And lately, there's been a lot of censorship about all kinds of different things. I mean, you can swear and do all this and that, but then certain topics, like if you start talking about, military stuff or I don't want to give out any buzzwords, but certain buzzwords will get you kicked off. And it
Mhm.
happened to me a lot of times. I'll be talking, all of a sudden, boom, I'm kicked off, right?
Yeah, yeah. Or flagged at least.
Yes. Yeah. Or put in jail or something, Facebook jail or
It's
something
it's
stupid.
really ridiculous, some
Yeah.
of it too.
A lot of people are switching from platform to platform because a lot of stuff like that is going on.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
it's kinda hard to find a platform that doesn't have a lot.
Yeah, hopefully 2026 will be a better and the platforms will be better too.
Yeah, and
No, I
everybody will
I
do
know
more.
that, you had to go soon to go to another, show. So, let me pull up your books again here, and if you want, you can, start doing some shout outs
What
where
kind of show?
people can find you
Yeah,
and your books and everything.
sure, sure. So I'm on Facebook, Cyn Shrader Hill author. If you have a story you would like for me to include in one of the upcoming books, you can reach me at cynshraderhillauthor@gmail.com. I'm on all the things, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Um, I went blank.
So for your books, did you want to say you're on
Yeah,
TikTok, you're
I'm on
Amazon?
Amazon. Thank you. Thank you. See, this not feeling good is just I'm not very clear-headed. So, thank you for doing that. I am on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible versions.
Love it, love it. So everybody listening, make sure you follow Cyn Shrader Hill on all of her platforms. And I really appreciate you being here today with us, Cyn. And I know, it's hard to be in a place or talk when you're not feeling good. But I hope this year is really good for you and it all works out for you.
You as well. You as
Thank you so much. Everybody listening, I hope you guys have yourselves a really great 2026. Now, if you have time soon, I know, did you need to jump off now or do you want
No,
me to do?
I'm actually okay. Yeah.
You're good?
Mhm.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring up on stage something, a little unboxing I thought I'd do with you. For 2026, I like to do like mindfulness, and I've been getting these boxes, and they're called Mindful Souls. So I pulled up um, or took a picture of the box. I just opened it and took a picture, but I didn't open the box yet. But if you're looking for like mindfulness stuff for 2026, this is so cool. You get the box and it comes every month. You don't know what the heck is going to be in it. And it's got all these neat little bags in it and a little book, and the little book says exactly what's in it. So this one is embracing your feminine side. It's got a bracelet, it's got a ring, it's got the Jasper and adventure, aventuring stone, and it's got a smudge stick because I use smudging and stuff a lot, and a dream catcher.
Nice.
So I thought I would open it with you and we could take a
Yeah.
look. So I'll go ahead and just grab the box. I'm just going to reach over here. Excuse me, everybody. Get the box. And yeah, let's see what's in it. Because, all right, I want to see the sun catcher
Wait, but
or the dream catcher.
you need to make you need to make your screen bigger again though.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to
Putting a
move the
box.
box around first because I've got your book and everything here. I'm just moving some stuff around my desk. Don't you love it when you podcast and you got a small desk and you don't know where to put stuff?
Right.
So I'm gonna pull something out and then I'll hold it up to the screen.
But make your screen bigger.
Yep. All right. Now I can smell the lavender already. Ooh, it smells good. Okay, so this is, let's see what this is. This is the part I love the most. It's like Christmas. Ooh.
Right?
This looks like kind of like your Elk Valley thing.
Yeah, it does. I like that. I love dream catchers.
I've got them all over the house, and I really think that they do work.
Mhm.
Do you have them over your bed?
I did. Wyatt used to have nightmares, and I gave
Oh,
him one. And
okay.
Susan hooked it on his bed, and um, I had told him the story of the dream catcher, so he quit having the nightmares. Well, that's a
Oh,
great too.
yeah, and, you know what I do with my stuff when I get it? I open the box, and I don't use it right away. I salt it all. I put it all in salt overnight, just in case
Mhm.
there's any weird we were talking about travelers. This
Right?
is a sticker that came with it. Yeah, because you just don't know, like, what kind of traveler is gonna be coming with it.
Hmm.
And this one is a little card you get. This one's about women's confidence. And you know what I do with these little bags after? I even salt the bags. After I'm done, I put salt in it or something. So when
Hmm.
we're going on a bog team investigation or even sometimes around the house, or if I've talked to somebody and I sense that they need to be grounded or there's, something that's going on, then I give them a little bag. This one's a ring. Such cool
Oh
stuff in
wow,
this box.
that is
Yeah, all kinds of stuff in this box. It's like Christmas because you never know what you're going to get. And each month you get something. And I really love this sage. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Can't you just
nice.
smell it just
That's
by
a nice
looking at it?
touchstick too.
It is. And I always keep one around when I'm podcasting. Like I'll do a smudge before and after. Do you do stuff like that in your house?
Only when I feel the energy shift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I try to do it ritually, like before and after each podcast that I do. And I think this one is that rock that I showed on the screen earlier. That's a
The
really cool
jasper.
one.
It looks like, is it leopard jasper? Is that
I'll,
what that is?
I'll bring this back up on the stage. It's this one. Oh, and of course, somebody else is. Let me
Yep,
just. It's Dalmatian Jasper.
Dalmatian.
Yeah, this one is for joy and balance. Element is earth, and the chakra is your sacral and your root. So it's pretty cool looking.
It's really pretty.
I see why they call it Dalmatian.
Mhm.
And I think there's one more thing in there.
Yeah, the adventuring.
Yes, the green one, right? Let me, that would be, yeah, this one. I'll take that off the stage for a sec. And
Yeah. Oh, and they're nice sizes too.
they're really good, big ones. I've got so many different rocks and stuff around the house now from
Ooh.
opening up all these things. Oh, I love it. Well, I'm going to play a little bit of bog team music as on our way out. And Cyn, I want to wish you again a happy new year. And I hope maybe you can do, some of this stuff, mindfulness for 2026, like this on this. And everybody have a great 2026. Cyn, thanks again for being on the show. I'll put on, I guess, how about some 80s metal? Everybody loves the 80s. Happy New Year!